Got it. Whoa. Whoa, we're back again. The riding the matrix, dude. We're back in effect doing what we do here. Jordan from AKA promo code, dude. Sorry. I don't want to leave your moniker out of the thing.
Thanks.
How's it going, Jordan?
It's going well. How are you, Hamish?
Fair to Midland, man. Let me just see. I gotta just.
How's it in the sticks?
What?
How is it in the sticks?
It's been hot. It's been hot lately. How's it where you are?
It's been mild. It's been all right.
Oh, you've got that Bay Area thing going on with the heat.
Yeah.
Fair to Midland, man. All right, we're set up. Okay, I can see the chat. Okay, I'm almost dialed in, dude. I can see the chat. I can see you. I can see that we are, I think we're side by side as our preferred. Yep, look, there you are, dude. With your what's on your head, dude?
Are you serious?
Okay.
Oh, serious. Siri got me.
Serious, dude. So anyway, we're back here for another a long-awaited ride in the skaterix, dude. We're doing a new night, a new time, new bat channel,
new approach.
What?
New approach.
New approach. Well, the Sunday night wasn't working for us. We were both getting family time,
personal stuff. Yeah,
personal stuff, dude. And I had yet to dial my thing in with SpaceX or Starlink or whatever it is. I got Starlink here like 3 weeks ago. Changed the game, dude.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Oh no, dude. Like, unfortunately, I can't say anything bad about it, dude. Except that you got to drill a hole in your wall from the outside to the inside of your house, and 100 feet of cable just ain't enough.
Oh.
But besides that, it's been pretty flawless, man. So we're crisp, we're clear, dude, right? Like, look at us on the screen, right? We didn't used to be that crisp, that clear.
Yeah, it might have something to do with a little bit more light.
No, it's the link. It's all the link on my end.
Okay.
Because now I'm going through the I'm not going on whatever we had before.
Oh yeah, in your house in particular, it's definitely better. You got a YouTube button on the wall there.
What's that?
You got a YouTube accolade behind you.
Yeah, I've always had my plaque, dude.
Okay.
Dude, I got my thing.
Is that your 100K plaque?
Yeah, I got that a long time ago, dude. No capping, dude. And I put you on a timeout, dude. No capping here, dude. Legion Kings. We don't be yelling in the chat, dude. Anyway, so yes, don't be capping here.
Hopefully he's capping on me.
Dude, I'm not capping on nobody. So yeah, it's been a hot moment. It's got to be like a month, 6 weeks since we last checked in.
Yeah,
we're all fired up to keep checking in, and then we immediately didn't.
I think it's good. We needed a break.
Yeah.
I needed a break, and I think breaks are good. You know, it gives us some time to reassess our intentions, why we're doing this and what we're trying to achieve by this whole thing. And I think we talked about two dads in the struggle to guide our children and understand the world as it is and not be tricked by a lot of the sorcery that's out there that seems to be tricking a lot of people.
Yeah. The sorcery is pretty for real out there.
So what do we want to get into? You turned me on to this video for the whatever Biden's red speech,
The red
red
speech,
zone.
the
Red
the
zone.
like straight from the set of Pink Floyd's The Wall, dude.
I've got some thoughts on this right away when I saw it when I was listening. I think it's a gigantic nothing burger, personally. I know you might differ, but I think it's more, there's a process that we're all kind of going through still. I think, COVID was one process, 9/11 was a process, COVID was a process. Now we've reached where we're at, I think that there's probably one of the more final stages before 2030, or at least the halfway mark, is to really is to kind of separate those who are going to either be, put on their blindfolds and follow whatever the dictator says, or those who choose not to. And I mean, I know it's more complicated than that, but it seems to be sort of reinvigorating the patriotism, but not the patriotism that we know. It's a new kind of patriotism that's sort of a fascist patriotism that's favoring all the leftist ideas rather than the conservative ideas. So it's like an inversion of what.
Oh no, I would say that, like, just on that level is where I don't think people are reading it. That is that if you're a leftist, that was for you too. Like that's just the weird, again, that perception that what is it, the right left paradigm. No, that was forever. That was for everybody, dude. That was for because you have to understand, is the people that are really PO'd are your standard formerly liberal people like me. I guess I still consider myself a liberal. That like, the oligarchs are taking over. So if you're a worker, if you're a homeowner, if you're someone who wants help, person with children, that you fall under that loopy umbrella, man. I tend to think that it's I mean, I was, again, as a person who was way ahead of the curve with the whole thing 2.5 years ago, people said to say, dude, no. And they tell you exactly what they're doing. They've always told you what they're doing. So I think they told us what they're up to, man. I don't think it's a nothing burger at all. I think that's what you do when you send in the rope-a-dope, right? You send in the clowns to deliver the message.
Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to get at is I don't see it. I see it only applicable to, I don't know. I still like, I guess I don't really see it as I mean, it could barely get anything done at like the DMV still. As far as like administrative wise, like we're a pretty retarded nation, So I'm just speaking from like that's why I told you on the phone earlier. I said, what's the practical application of this? Because I don't think it's a nothing burger as far as the emotional effect it'll have on people. People will probably fight more. People will probably pull a gun and shoot someone. I'm not saying that's sad that might happen, but that is, I don't see it like this. I don't see like a civil war level opposition scenario, like right versus left going down. Personally, maybe I'm mistaken. What I see is more of like the economics in the market side of it, where there's just kind of another way to rile and knock everyone off kilter while they restructure. To me, these things look like more delays. It's a way to like hang up the people. They're all like little tools and little things like to kind of booby trap the people while they're building the infrastructure, which is the infrastructure that Trump, like the irony, and I'll say this much, is that the irony of that Trump is the
Orange man.
orange man. They're all retarded. Obviously, I mean, I think you know my stance. I've never been a Trump tard or a Biden tard. I think it's all retarded. But he was the one who sung the praises of the biometric surveillance tracking system that we're going to have on land and on sea and in air, and and I think that's always been the pipe dream of the so-called oligarchs, is to have like a way to really attach a battery system like literally like in the Matrix, like where everyone has like a value in what they bring to society, and when the battery runs out, then they're sort of like disposed or they're canceled or whatnot. So I don't know. I think that the biometric tracking system and the surveillance and the CBDC, all that is like, they're really struggling to figure it out. And I think that's what this thing is. Like, it's a ruse to knock, it's just a ruse to keep people, spinning while they get their stuff in order. That's what I feel in my heart. I could be wrong, but it's like,
well, that comes from I think from the perspective. My perspective on it all is that it's already happened. Like this, we're at the mop-up stage, from what I can tell. Like the Civil War happened already, if you want to call it.
In the
We're at that. I think if you take on like everyone thinks about it in like the war is going to be in, the old way, right? So, but if you use that as a metaphor, right? Like you would go over and you would invade, move inward, and then behind you, you begin your mop-up operations. Like, I think that's the thing, is like the front line has telegraphed so far ahead of us that we're waiting for, I think there's like this weird, I was listening to Jimmy Dore today. They were talking about how Libya's like destabilizing again, right? And you look at a situation like Libya, right? Which we single-handedly did with the same old culprits. And you realize that we still live on the narrative of exploding buildings and like bangs and booms and this and that. You and I, we've spent the better part of the last 2 years persevering through occupied reality, right? Like America's long gone, dude. So when that dude starts telling that's what he's saying, if you read between the lines, it's to me, it's the equivalent of sitting back in the 30s in Europe and being like, it's still thinking you're in Kaiser, in the old state versus the new state. Like, we're in the new state. Like there's no, it doesn't matter. Like on that level, it doesn't matter who the red wave comes. Like the die's already been cast. They're just telling you now to like they do need you to be complicit in your own demise. You know what I mean? But I think the narrative is like, that's way more serious than I think most people really want to accept, because it's the darkest of dark, dude. It's the most, it ultimately leads to the most horrifying reality there is, which we know is inevitably coming. I mean, that's why we kind of meet as two dads to talk about it. We see it in all sorts of other aspects, right? We see it in the corruption of the youth, the corruption of the education system. Both of us live in the state of California, where like, if you see the laws that are going through, if you see the laws on governor that are waiting for a signature from Governor Newsom right now, they're horrifying, man. They're way beyond anything that you would have that would say that this isn't already in effect, the program, you know? And I think there's this weird thing of like, we're waiting for the technology. How about the technology's already doing it? Like, we can't say certain things right here. You know that.
Yeah.
We can't talk freely on this platform like we do over the phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I agree. I mean, I think yeah, I don't know. It is pretty so it's I don't know in regards to like the Biden speech, in regards to like what's going on with, you know, with current laws being passed in California. I'm a bit out of touch, I must admit. That's the thing, is like, you need to like sit down and truly understand these things, which is important. I think the technology in these things are there for sure to, as a mechanism, obviously, of control. But I guess I can't help but to still kind of look at more of the you know, the spiritual ramifications and the esoteric elements of this whole thing, and really that these people, they're also worshiping, you know, they also worship, they also have an agenda that they follow, they also have to do certain things. They have to show up geographically at a certain time on a certain day with certain colors and say certain things with certain symbols so that it has a certain effect on the people. And I'm looking at that element of it, and I know, yes, when they pass a law and it's scary and all that, but for me, I don't even like view myself as a part of the system in that way. So if you pass a law that inadvertently is going to threaten me and my family to such an extent, then I'll just pack up and leave with my family. That's where I'm at now. But I don't like, in other words, my day to day as of yet, and I'm not saying it won't get there. I'm not ignorant to the fact of what's possible, because this could just be like Gaza, an open air prison soon, in a sense. But do I think it will be in the next year or two? No. Do I think it's heading that way? Potentially. But I do think that I believe that there's still good people even within government, in a sense. I think there's still, whatever you want to call them, white hats, you know, that are.
Nah, they didn't.
Huh?
There aren't, dude. That's why I hate to be the bearer of bad news, dude. Like we're all on our own, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no,
that's more the
yeah.
the point is so, like, even on that thing is like, if you go back to like kind of what you were saying about symbolism, colors.
I don't care, by the way, if there's white hats or not. I'm saying for those who are concerned about, like I said earlier, my case is that I'm not in that concerned about these things until they are things to be concerned about. One could argue, well, now is the time to be concerned. Well, I wake up and I do my thing. I'm probably in the worst place in the United States, to be honest with you, as far as like the crap that goes on. But I get on with my day, and I do what we do what we need to do. And yeah,
Of course.
I don't know. I guess.
Well, no, well, that's it. I mean,
hung
that's like a baseline given, right? Like, there's kind of like three realities I see going on. There's the head in the sands, right? Just blah, 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 that don't want to know. There's the people that the general majority that just have no way of knowing, because they just don't have the ability to see it. And then there is the people that know and are going about building a new reality, right? Like, I didn't miss a beat today, dude. I went and built a giant bookshelf in in our Lego studio, and like, I'm not, there's not a part of me that's stopping and buying into it on a personal level. But that doesn't, I'll tell you what, and I told you this over the phone, but to the viewing audience, right? So I live in one of those zones, which would have been the subject matter of said speech last night, right? A lot of these people out here. Dude, I've lived here now 4 months. Dude, I live about a mile away from the local shooting range. Whatever, you hear some popping over there. Dude, today at 9 o'clock this morning, most people were in their backyard doing target practice this morning. It sounded like a war zone, dude. Everybody for about an hour was out. I was sanding something in my backyard, like getting ready to paint it. Actually, I was painting the bookshelf. And all of a sudden I hear pow, pow. And I look over and my neighbor's like got his like guns out and I was like, oh, whoa, you can do that here. And then all of a sudden I hear all the other neighbors doing the thing. And I go, all right, like me, I'm building the bookshelf. Whatever. That's what I'm doing with that information. Other people aren't building bookshelves with that information. People were out. I'm saying that maybe it was just a fluke. Maybe it's a fluke that on Friday, September 2nd, everybody decided for the first time in almost 5 months to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning and start shooting their guns in their backyards. I don't know, but I haven't heard it before. The only time I've heard guns in the backyard is about the coyotes at night. And it's usually like 22s and stuff. People are shooting off big guns this morning, dude, doing like gearing up. So I look at it a little bit more. It's not about me I'm worried about. It's about just knowing where the wave is going, right? Like when I would say, you know, one of the things we talk about is the propaganda being forced upon the children, right? Especially in the skateboarding world, right? At a certain point in some of these places, there were people that were like, hey, this isn't going to go well. We're not on board with this. And, you know, most people were like, well, you know, whatever, dude. It's just, people need to be able to do with it. You know, you look at California with the marriage thing, right? Whatever. Not my bit. Why would you even want to like, whatever, dude? Like, whatever, dude. Here we are down the line, right? No one heeded that clarion call, what, a decade ago? No one got in the streets and got crazy about that. That was the gateway to it all, man. Yeah. And nobody. So here it is.
Tony Hawk Tony Hawk did a public service announcement 8 years ago on that whole issue.
But nobody listened. Everybody's like, and now it's so.
I mean, he was advocating for these things.
What's that?
I said he was advocating for these things.
Yeah, but nobody cared. Like, and I would say that it's no different now. Is they're straight up telling us what they're up to, and it's that thing of like, well, you know, that's a bit much. So there were people when that was going on that said that this was exactly what was going to happen. It's just a gateway. They're just trying to get into school. They're going to start doing this. They're going to start doing that. It's this, it's that. And a dude like me was like, dude, that I didn't even have kids then. So I was like, that's crazy, dude. People are, that's crazy. Nah, dude, like, I'm not into it. It's not my business. Like, live and let live, whatever, dude. Here we are, right? So when SB 277 was going on, that was right before Al was born. SB 277 was the sauce requirements to go to public school. I was getting signatures on that stuff. I was out collecting signatures, talking to people. People were like, you're crazy. I go, dude, this is good. This is it. You're crazy, dude. You're crazy, dude. Dude, when I was with those parents up on top of the hill a year and a half ago, and when they started doing, and all those parents showed up, those were all the parents that were like, you're crazy, dude. What do we do, dude? They were looking at me, what do we do? Because you're the dude that we were calling crazy. So you obviously knew what was going on. I would just, my big thing I'm trying to point out that is that you can't look these things and just bypass them, because that's why we're so far down the food chain with what's going on in public schools, with what's going on in the overall society and the breakdown of it all. Those first guys were like, you can't take the 10 commandments out of the church. Yeah, you're crazy, dude. Nah, whatever. Who cares, dude? Here we are. Right. You know, I worried about like some of this stuff because I go, that's decoy issues.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the thing is this. It's the way I sort of see it. It's everybody showing up late to the party, right? So like if you look at as parents, right? Everybody's like they had the largest school district in the country in Florida just went like they turned over the school board and it went conservative. Okay. Great. So let's say that again, if we're talking about children being indoctrinated to questionable lifestyle issues, let's just leave it at that, in this public school system, right? And you're like, okay, like I'm going to join the school board in 2000, whatever year, what year is it? 2022, right? I'm so pissed. I'm joining the school board. Okay, great. Now you're on the school board. You took the school board over. A bunch of super concerned parents finally started showing up at the school board. They showed up, they took it over, they got elected. All right, great. Now what are you going to do? Well, we're going to go in and we're going to change this and this. Oh, but wait a minute. Who are you going up against? The teachers union that has all the power. Like the school board doesn't have any power. The teachers union's the one that's running the show. So you got elected to a school board, but you're 30 years late to the party at the thing. And all I'm trying to point out with some of this stuff is there's a new party going on and they're setting up the music right now. And we're like, literally, they're like, hey, we're putting up the music and the flyers and the banners right now. Like, do you want to come to our party, dude? I'm like, I ain't coming to your party, dude.
No, that's definitely, I mean, that's been the Antichrist system, you know, from a religious perspective. Christians and Muslims can both agree, I think, that the system, the infrastructure for the Antichrist system is very much, if not completely completed and finished, it's definitely a good majority of the percent done. And these are all the features of this very Antichrist system. And one of the major things they want to do, you know, the devil made two promises. He said, he told God that I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove to you, oh God, how ungrateful they are. That was one, because that's the greatest thing you can do is by making a person ungrateful to God. They basically commit disbelief by being ungrateful. And the second thing is that I'm gonna change their features. I'm going to change their nature, which is also connected to being, you know, ungrateful. So I'm not happy with the way I look. So, but they're pushing these things because it's like, I can't say the names of the people, but you know, they're fast tracking this because they believe they have a hand in bringing about some of the end times prophecies. This is all situated back in this all goes back to the third temple and all the same. So whatever we're experiencing here in America, you know, we're sort of this sacrificial lamb, seems like over and over and over again. But I hear what you're saying. Like there is the whole set has been, you know, the whole stage has been set, and there's definitely you know, all of the markings of a pretty heavy thing under afoot. It could be another false flag attack. It could be, I mean, anything at this point will just break everyone. Like if they were just to do something like another, you know, God forbid.
Oh yeah.
If they were to do
sure.
anything, it would just like, that's how you're going to get that last little, like that last complete separation is going to happen under a some sort of psyop of some level, whatever that is.
Well, that I guess that's sort of what why we kind of do what we're doing, right? Like I look at it as, when go back to SB 277. When SB 277 was getting passed, that's when Al was in utero, right? And we were like, and that's when we got really informed on all that stuff. If you would talk to us prior to that, if we were having a child, I don't know if we would have been so steadfast in what we were up to, right? We got super informed. We followed the money. I started doing the research, doing all that kind of stuff, right? I got awakened to the evils of the big pharma, dude, which, and no, it's not that just on that aspect alone, right? As far as children are concerned. And so when SB 277 showed up, like the writing was on the wall. So like my wife and I not only were ready to go that course, but we also understood that like Al was never going to be part of the public education system, right? Like we were like, oh wow, that's kind of a bummer, dude. And we'll do what we can with paperwork and getting signatures here and there with various entities, right? But at the end of the day, we knew that was just the course we had set for ourselves. And then, so you move forward. So when in 2020, when it all shuts down, right? And this is more why I'm bring this kind of stuff up is when 2020 happened and it all shut down, we were the kind of parents that were not caught with our pants down, so to speak, when it came to our children being at home. Like, right. Like I knew a lot of people that were like, oh my God, like I now have my children at home all day long, going like bouncing off the walls. But we'd already inevitably were ready for whatever was come when that aspect of it. Right. So when it happened, it wasn't a big like stretch for us. We were just like, okay, like, so what, right? But you looked at all those parents that weren't ready for it, that had no mental, like I think that if I look back on like some of the mental abuse that went on in 2020, I think one of the most brutal things, and having talked to some of these other parents out there, was the psychological ramifications of a parent that was not mentally, emotionally, or spiritually ready to have a child at home all day long and trying to hold down, that just weren't ready for it. And then just one day it's like, your children are at home, everything's shut down, and you're going to have to do this. And imagine the amount of like friction there, or neglect, or ignoring, or just and this thing. Because I remember I talked to a number of parents that were like, dude, like I don't know what to do. Like I'm not ready for this. And now like one day it's just boom, it's here. I've got 3 kids at home and I don't know what to do with them. I don't know how to educate them. I don't know that, like, here's an iPad, go to your room and watch your thing. And they're like, look, I look at how gnarly our teenager got on us.
To watch porn.
Well, I look at like our teenager went off the deep end, lost her mind. They shut down school on her, like at 16 or 15, at the prime of social high schooling. She's now at home with us, going kick rocks. You guys suck. I ain't playing. Chaos, right?
Oh, yeah.
So again, as I sort of look at some of these things like that, is like, all right, they're projecting out. Like, am I worried about like some sort of like, sitcom special where like, the lead's flying and the bombs are, no, that's not me. I'm not worried about that. I just realized that like, I'm not the dude who listened to that speech last night, heard how horrifying it was, and got up this morning and started unpacking my toys and doing target practice this morning. I'm the dude who heard it, was like, holy smoke, this is crazy. I'm going to go keep working on my bookshelf and building a new tomorrow. But that's not what's going on. People are like, what? And that energy is contagious, right?
I hear you.
That's where I'm coming from of it, because like, and we've talked about this a lot, is like, as two men of God and parents and skateboarders, is like, right, you got to be ready to take the slam, man, right? And that isn't a fight or flight mode. And it seems to me, again, one of the big tricks is to get people into fight or flight as again, the right left paradigm. You either go right or left. When I say stand still, where God exists, which is ultimately circles back to where you were coming from when we started this.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about, like, what's your take on coming out of, it's weird because I'll still see people masked here. I still see people, I was riding my bike this morning and I passed an Asian couple, and they put the mask over their nose when I was approaching, because I was allegedly I'm contagious and I could have like infected them, and they end up on the ventilator a couple hours later. So they made sure they covered themselves. But that's happening like all day, every day in my area.
Oh, I got a theory for you, dude. Let me ask you this.
So my question is that how coming off of the sort of the COVID spike and everything, everyone's, triple, quadruple, jabbed up with the sauce. What is your, I have my own theories as well, but I'm curious what you have to, what is, for those people that are still like holding on tight to that narrative, what is that?
Well, I think again is let me ask you this. I don't know if we talked about this last couple of days. What do you know about Artemis?
Artemis, I know that they just launched that shuttle named Artemis, but I know there's
it actually didn't get off the ground. It's tomorrow.
Or whatever, they were going to do it.
Well, okay, so this was
the timing coincides a lot with a lot of the numbers and the symbolism and the length of the ship.
No, you're going too deep.
Okay.
So you have in the United States of America one of the largest. Al, can you like let us do our thing? And let us do our thing. Let me like do your thing. Close the door. So you have one of the largest. You have a country that's super fascinated with space, right? And this is going to tie back to what I'm talking to, what you're asking about. One of the largest outlays of money, resources at a time when the people are struggling and starving and healthcare is falling apart and all this going on. So while this coup was going on and chaos was going on, they've been busy building this Artemis program. But dude, I as a dude who's kind of a nerd about like whether you believe in space or not, I don't care. I'm still fascinated by the game of it, if you will, or the TV show of it. Up until a week ago, I'd never heard of it, dude. And I'm pretty like into that kind of stuff. And I heard of it and I was like, oh my God, let me check this out. And the amount of like what was going on and the money being put forth and the whole thing, I was like, they're not telling anyone about this. There's not some big, huge national thing like, hey, man, we're doing this. We're literally going to put a space station around the moon and put people on the surface of the moon and use that space station to launch people to Mars. Nothing. And I'm a dude who's looking for info like that, right? They're not telling people about it. They're not hyping it up. They're not doing it. And I go, and I ask myself, that's interesting. I go, why? And I go, because they don't care. They're not trying to inspire us. They don't want to inspire people to be engineers or astronauts or doctors or anything. And it goes to this thing is like, they know, so they know that they don't care about people anymore. They're not into us on that level. Taking it to the coop and what's gone on, all the hardwired, masked up, triple sauced, quadruple sauced, what's going to happen? And from my analyzing of this as over the last couple of weeks, in about 60 to 90 days, they're going to come out and the doctors are going to be the ones to leak it. And they're going to be dudes that are like, and they're going to be allowed to leak it. And they're going to go, look, the numbers are gnarlier than we've been letting on. We've been covering up the numbers. People are dropping out. And it's going on, dude. Like you know, you can watch Apocalypse Now.
Quadruple, and they'll say,
yeah, dude. The NIH in England just released some huge report about the numbers of people that are not here anymore on a statistical level versus other years, and all that stuff is like tenfold, right? So what I think they're going to do is they're going to come out and they're going to be like, look, you didn't have to, you did. You've got it, and it's inside of you. And people are going to be like, so imagine how scared everybody was on the outside, right? Outside. It's coming to me. And now all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh, it's inside of me, right? And what I think that it is fear triggers it. It's latent. And the thing that will trigger it is your body will have a bioelectrical, biochemical reaction to fear that will activate it. And because if you are paying attention to
all they do is they say, and that's why it's interesting, because they couple that with the shortness of breath is one of the symptoms, right?
NHS,
yeah. So they'll say, and that's also a symptom of fear, ironically, right? So
imagine you're a person that's running on this program, right? And all of a sudden they flip the script and they go, look, dude, because what seems to be going on is people go to sleep and they don't wake up, man. That is talk about the scariest concept ever to lay on people that are predisposed to fear, right?
So wait, what I would be interesting to look at is the Hellbop Comet cult. Remember that guy, Apple?
I did all that. What about Marshall Applewhite, dude?
Well, I'm saying, like, there seems to be in a very massive level, at a massive, much more. This is like an Applewhite's wet dream on steroids,
This is just Jonestown on a global level, dude.
Yeah, but it has some of those.
Well, everybody drank the Kool-Aid, right? Again, is these things.
No, everyone wore the Nikes, right? Everyone wore the jumpsuit. Everyone wore there's that unification that.
But it ties into your thing. They all castrated themselves too.
Exactly. So, and there you go.
So Marshall Applewhite and them is and they put the purple cloth over their face. So on the coop of the hardwired people is they're perfectly set up for this. So I think what you're going to have action is like, it's all going to coincide here. They're gearing up the multi-pronged front, dude. Is they're people are going to glitch out, like feared up, like literally, like they're going to put out the news and they're going to be like, look, dude. And people are going to start being like, and they're going to be like, y'all sign this thing. Like, that's where, like, you and I, we don't know. Like, I've seen it. I had a copy of it, what people were signing. Everyone who joined that parade signed a piece of paper giving away their sovereignty on it, dude. And so what they're going to do is, and they're already starting to do it. That's why if you check out, like 2 weeks ago, they flipped the script on the Orange Man. Like, with the whole thing, he was pressuring the FDA. He was pressuring these guys to like rush it and all this. And then, so what they're going to do is they're going to flip it and be like, yeah, it was all a botch from Jump Street, and people are going to get outraged, and they're going to be, and the big trick is going to be, because everyone thinks it's a right-left issue. It's not a right-left issue. It's a culling issue. They don't care about your right-left paradigm. That's where I've really checked into it, is like, they can care less whether you're a wokester or a magatard, dude. Like, whether you have rainbow flags or Gadsden flags, in their eyes, you have the same flag, dude. To them, you're waving a flag around, declaring a team. And if you want to be on a team, that means your team is not our team and you're out of here. And so I think they're gonna glitch everyone out. And I can't imagine anything scarier, right? We've walked the journey of self-inflicted pain, right? Think about those moments that you've had out there where you talk about your experience, right? When you've ingested said quantities of poison into your body and you're out there and you're like, I don't know if I can make it back home, right? And you did it to yourself. Yeah. You've done it to yourself. No one's doing it to you and you're sitting it by yourself in yourself. Right. And imagine what that will be looking like for some of these people that once I would argue, and I've said this, that this point is there are people right now who are terrified to go to sleep on this planet, because they're like, dude, I have this stuff inside of me. And it seems like people are dropping out, dude. Like
sudden adult death syndrome. Right?
Yeah, that's crazy. I ain't worried about. Are you worried about going to sleep tonight? I'm not at all.
No.
So, I think that all of these kind of roll on the same thing is, what Sleepy Guy did last night was he activated another group of people that are afraid to go to sleep tonight. Like, they're like, oh my God, dude, I got to get my box of lead next to my pillow tonight, dude. They're coming for me. And then, they got the other people, the 87,000 IRS agents coming to get me. And like, they're not going to sleep tonight because they've got some hush money they've been funneling away somewhere, dude. And it's all the same thing. And then you have all these other people, like, which is ultimately where we go, the skateboarders being corrupted by the thing. They're all afraid to go to sleep tonight too, because they might have to wake up tomorrow and be like, I'm not what I declared myself to be. And I'm really more afraid. I guarantee there's these skateboarders that are running around cosplaying it or LARPing and they really don't want to. I think it's almost the opposite, right? Like, imagine, like, remember that there used to be that term, like, coming out of the closet, right? It's the exact opposite now. Like, what about the people that are afraid to go back into the closet, that have come out and been like, oh, I'm doing this thing, and they're like skating around, they're part of like a whole community, and they're like, this isn't for me, and they're going to sleep like, how do I get out of this? And how do you get out of that? Like,
yeah, what's interesting is like people will encourage you to go deeper into that madness, but they'll never, ever, ever talk about, the large percentages of people that, what happens on the other side when you make those choices, right? The suicides and the depression and that's across the board. We just hear one side of it. Just do this. It's good. Trust the science. It's live your authentic life, live your authentic self. And then they do those things. They trust the science. They live their authentic self. And they're like, well, I don't feel good now. I feel dead inside. I feel scared. I feel worried. And they're going to go back to try to get some help, but that group of people won't be able to help them because they themselves are in it. They want to tell you it's going to be okay. They're not going to tell you to get therapy.
No. It's it's again, it's
they might tell you to get some form of therapy, but
we're on our own, man. Like, that's almost the trouble with the thing is, like, as much as, and I think a lot of these predatory people realize that there is no institutions of oversight anymore, right? Nobody's overseeing any of it anymore. You can really go and do what you want, dude. Like the gloves are off. And I think people are slowly realizing that and being like, whoa, because no one's again, it's the it is that thing with like, it's like the guy with that who owned the island, dude. Like, where's the list? No one's gonna get in trouble, dude. No one's like, it's all by design, dude. You know?
Yep.
So it comes down to this whole thing of you know, where are you at with it, man? And again, I firmly believe that you have to sort of be aware of the game board in order not to be caught in the game board on a level. Because we do it like, there's like a weird thing. I hear a lot of people like do it. It's like they use the shield of like their own spirituality to like, or relationship with God or Christianity or whatever it is, to be like, I don't have to like worry about it, when that is the hubris of the beast, from what I can tell. Is like, yeah, you do. You got to fully like armor yourself against it. I mean, look at how, you know.
I agree. I mean, you definitely have to reform yourself, and you have to, there's something to be said about taking an honest look and taking inventory of our own character in our own, a lot of us, we suffer from like jealousy and envy and anger and not impatience and arrogance, and those are all things to sort of look at and start working to eradicate and start practicing the opposite qualities, so that we can, because that's what's going to bring a person closer to God, is by living those God conscious qualities. And I think that's people with the whole thing, like the psychological trauma that people have gone under, people have lost a lot of their like their spirit of the will and their drive to really like work on that aspect of their soul, of their spiritual self, because it's so easy to get wrapped up in all the social media stuff. It's so easy just to pick up the phone and just drown out all your worries with dopamine hit after dopamine hit with like the latest thing, and we forget to work on ourselves. And I think that's for me, that's been sort of my realization now. I guess it's something that happens right when you get older, is that you start realizing that I don't have a lot of time, and I know that I'm still pretty far away from the mark. I need to really start working on myself, and so I can be strong for my children and my family, and ultimately serve the people. You got to heal yourself before you can heal others. That does not mean that you be a hermit for the rest of your life, but I do believe there's a time and a place to separate yourself, whether it's a month or 40 days or a year, where you can really develop those qualities that you need to withstand what's going on out there, like, because if you really want to be effective in these things, it's like you really have to, you have to have the, so to say, the armor of God. You have to have closeness, and you have to be traveling with God's help. And you don't get God's help by watching porn and eating, crappy food and not taking care of yourself and not obeying his command.
So you're saying not to go smoke a bunch of crack tonight?
I never mentioned crack, so that might be a loophole.
When I hear snack, that's what I think.
Yeah, Hamish, to be honest with you, I didn't mention crack. So that's what they did, is that they were told, guys, you can't fish on Saturday. No fishing on the Sabbath. You know what they did? This is in the Quran. They said, look, if we throw on nets on Friday, we go to the sea, we throw our nets on Friday, we come on Sunday and we pick up the nets. We weren't there on Saturday.
Yeah, well, loopholes, right? Like everybody's looking for a loophole. What's the thing? Is it in Israel or is it somewhere else where they run the wire around the community so they can get by on some sort of like law? You're not supposed to be doing something on a certain day. Like they run some sort of wire around the or string or something around the whole community so they can be in compliance with said.
They do all sort of workarounds.
Yeah, sure. The workarounds. Like there's a lot
rabbi, we're not gonna get your channel canceled, but the rabbi is the workarounder. He's the fixer. So whenever Netanyahu or whenever even Trump or Biden or any of these guys want to do something, they have to consult with the Shabbat Lubavitch rabbi.
Well, yeah, but there's always been. I mean, that's
I really mean that. That's the truth.
Well, that was what the Reformation was about. Was the no more workarounds.
No more workarounds. Anyways.
Yeah, you're supposed to show up and like be of good character in all your actions, right? Practice these principles in all of our affairs. No need for workarounds, right?
We need to have so next Friday, I think it's fun just to kind of get comfortable.
Yeah, we're just getting back in it. We'll come with we'll come with the subject.
Yeah, so some material. I would like to talk about the
oh, wait. I do have something. I wanted to show you this. Let me see. Okay. Have you seen this? So there's that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Baphomet, right? Have you seen this? Have you seen this?
Yeah, Space Force, yeah.
With the Baphomet thing and the whole deal. Yeah. It's crazy. I just saw that. So I just got turned on to that one the other day.
There's so multi-layered in your face, smack you, punch you, laugh at you, spit on you the whole time, mock you, ridicule you, gaslight you.
Yeah.
And people are just like, no, there's nothing happening here. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
that there ultimately isn't. Like that's the funny thing. Like I said, I've been building shelves all day.
Paraplegic is in the chat. How are you?
Oh, the paraplegic bear.
Look at you.
Look at you. Look at you. Look at you.
Assured me the paraplegic coffee is kosher.
Dude, you know he has a website, dude.
Paraplegic?
Yeah.
Oh, he did? He came. I was worried about doing that because he didn't want to get slammed.
Yeah. He's got one, dude.
Wow.
I was worried, dude, but apparently you can't order anything on it, dude. I went and checked it out for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. Paraplegic bear, throw up your number. Like if you really do want some of the best coffee around, dude, Paraplegic bear does roast the bean.
He has the Helen Keller roast.
I have not Isaiah approach.
Carl Brown. He has the Ira's. What's this?
Dude, the raghead roast, dude.
The raghead roast.
Yeah.
I think he did that one after he met me.
Yeah, well, it's not politically, it doesn't take orders. Sure.
I'm supposed to get offended. See, I don't get offended when it's someone I know his heart is in the right place.
There's Paraplegic Bear's number. If you're out there and you want some great coffee, give Paraplegic a call, order some up, man. Support the bro. He makes some fracking awesome coffee. But yeah, we'll be back. This is our new time for the skaterix. We'll focus on some actual skateboarding stuff, maybe.
Absolutely. 5 o'clock.
What?
5 o'clock on Friday.
5:30, something like that. It's a good time.
Yeah,
It's actually like it's a good time for you. It's a good time for
yeah,
me.
yeah, it's good. It's I can move around a bit.
Yeah, it's way better
Okay, let's keep it
for
at that.
me. All right. So we're here. Oh, did you just shaka, dude? Bro, that's improper.
Behind.
Dude, that's improper, dude. That you
Sorry,
should
I'm
not.
sorry. Whoa.
Dude, bro,
Oh,
that's
dude.
cult, bro. That is, I'm calling you out on cultural appropriations, dude. That's,
Oh, dude, come on, man. I grew
bro.
up near a beach, man.
Down by the beach, boy.
Yo, I'm down with you, Hamish.
Dude, I'm worried, man. You know, it starts there. It starts with taking.
I'm a difficult one to figure out because I grew up as a full-blooded Ashkenazi Jew and then converted to Islam. I've been married a couple times and I had a baby with a black woman. So I have a half black Ashkenazi Jewish boy, and I'm married to an Afghan sister, and I have 4 kids. So I've always said I don't, and I really don't look at color at all. Like I don't think that that's even a thing. I look at like
we can tell, Jordan. We can tell by because we see your outfits have 0 color, dude. They're the same.
I look at if your pants are sagging and you have tattoos in obtruse places, like if you have got like if you got like those lips here. You ever seen the lip tattoo? Like guys who have like the lips tattooed here, like someone
they got kissed
them. Yeah. But it's a tattoo.
Yeah.
That I'm racist against those people. I don't like them. For some reason, I'm just like, I don't like you. I don't trust you.
Well, that's, I have a couple. No, I got a couple. I adamantly discriminate against anyone wearing tennis socks.
Okay.
No, I'm dead serious, dude.
Like striped
you roll up into me and I spot you're wearing tennis socks, dude.
Just chaps your hide.
Oh no, I don't trust you, dude. I already know you're not to be trusted. It's one of those my rules, and it's never been proven wrong, dude. Let me see your ankles, dude.
Vaseline in their hair, that smell of Vaseline. Like people use Vaseline as like a lotion. That to me, I'm not petroleum. The petroleum lubers, they're called lubers.
Petroleum lubers, dude. just commit to either no socks in your sweaty shoes or regular socks. What do you got? Let's see your shoes. You might tennis sock. All right, good man, dude. You don't tennis sock.
Yeah, what do you think?
You don't seem like a tennis socker, but then I'm like, you can't tell.
Like the ankle socks?
Yeah, the socks that don't come up out of your shoes, dude.
No, those are
tennis socks, dude. Yeah.
Well, I have all my socks are black. You guessed it, they're black and white, and they go up to my like literally like my above my mid calf. So
there you go. You're fine. Or don't wear socks at all.
Yeah.
Pick a lane.
I'm trying to walk in the grass more without shoes nowadays. So.
It's like my same thing, like people who vape. I'm like, just smoke, smoke cigarettes, dude. Like enough with the vaping, like half measures avail you nothing, dude. Like enough, dude.
What yeah. Yeah, that gets it too, for sure. Dudes with like oversized, like big, like dudes with like oversized, like pit bulls, that they have to like always like choke it. They're when they're walking down the street, they're like barely holding on to their dog. They want to they're going out to intimidate. That's the only reason they have that dog, I don't like that. That bothers me.
You know,
it's like usually they're the same guys that they're like super big and they have like they go to Costco with like 2 shopping carts and they just fill it in. Usually they're Samoan, but that I know they'll come after me if I confirm that.
Dude, you've already got a target on you, dude. I saw the slap message board, dude. Did you?
Yeah,
Have you checked out the Gifted Skater yet?
I did. I did. I like him. He's very articulate, very
He's
smart
good.
man.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Gifted Skater, dude. I like what he's up to.
Yeah.
He gets in there.
Jam. I promised my wife I'd be home at 6:30.
I got my goats. You got to take me for a walk. So
All right.
we're out. See you next Friday.
Let's get prepared next week and do something fun.
All right.
I really enjoy this conversation.
I did too. Look for the loopholes, dude.
All
Promo
right.
code.
Go do that on Friday.
Promo
Pick it up
codes
on
and
Sunday.
loopholes, dude.